Today we're speaking with Natalie Petouhoff, Senior Analyst at Forrester Research. So Natalie, you say that companies essentially need to partner with their contact centers. What kind of partnership are you referring to?
That's a really good question. So if you think of customer service or contact centers as the portal to your customers, i.e. that's really the most customer-facing department. And if you think about the economy, none of us can lose even one customer, then it only makes sense that that group really should determine the direction of the company. And what's interesting is most often the question that doesn't get asked in the contact center is, what do you need to really take care of our customers? Instead, a question that's posed more often is, how can you do more with less? And I was talking to someone once, and I was saying, well, tell me the 10 things that you need to do in customer service or contact centers. And they gave me their list, and then they said, it feels like management is telling me to take those 10 things and do exactly opposite of that. So I think sometimes, even though it seems like a little silly, what it manifests itself in is what I call the Rodney Dangerfield effect for customer service.
That's a good analogy. So can you give examples of any companies that do this successfully?
Yeah, well, one of the things that I'm finding in my research is that customer service and social networking communities is really giving a brand new way of reaching out to customers, and it really does help give companies a sense of what's happening in their company. For example, JetBlue is now using Twitter to make contact with people who are in airports. So what they do is they follow a Twitter post, and Twitter is a great place where if you're sitting in the airport and you don't have anything else to do except wait for your plane, and you're apt to post something. And so what JetBlue is now doing more than their team are reaching out to people and saying, "Gosh, we're really sorry. We wanted to see what we can do to make this better." And one guy thought it was corporate legal calling him, to say don't post bad things. And Martin was like, no, it's our customer service department. We're really trying to be helpful, and we want to know what part of our problem our sales and service didn't work for you. So I think there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. I think things will be better.
Now that's a great example of using technology to achieve this. You also maintain that strategy also should come before technology. Do you see companies making that mistake of implementing the technology before the strategy?
Yeah, we see that. I think it's just an old paradigm of, the first thing that people think of is, okay, well, what system we're going to use, and it's kind of a knee-jerk reaction. Throw some tech at it, and it'll be all better. But, like let's say you walked into a room and you saw a bunch of boxes, and you have to ask yourself, well, what are those boxes, those servers, connectors, all those things, what are they going to do? Are they really going to make a difference? Well, no, you have to have some application, direction for all that technology to be headed, and that's really based on thinking through the strategy. And oftentimes, is the strategy sell more, or is the strategy take care of our customers? That will dictate, how you set up that technology and your processes. And then whichever strategy you pick, you'll probably get those results. Generally, whatever you focus on, you get.
Part of that process in developing that strategy, you say, is to conduct a gap analysis between your customer experience goals and the technologies and processes in place to achieve them. Can you explain what's entailed in a gap analysis?
Yeah, it's basically taking a snapshot in time of what it is right now, so we call that the as-is, and then you compare that with some sort of set of best practices. Forrester has their stuff we call the Customer Service Innovation Framework. And so if let's say that you had your whole team, all your stakeholders, marketing, sales, service, finance, IT, executive office, let's say that all of them took the assessment, well, you'd be able to give a cross-section of how people in different departments think the company's doing with respect to serving customers. And one of the things about a gap analysis, and tying it back into strategy, is that oftentimes when you look at the results from one particular company, you start to see that each department has their own idea of what should be happening and their own idea of how well the company does that. And I think that's one of the reasons that you see so many crash and burn customer service or CRM implementations is oftentimes there's no tool to get those differences out on the table. It's kind of always big elephant on the table, but there's no way to kind of get it out there and start, how do you eat an elephant one piece at a time? So without alignment, many times, people are going in many different directions. If you kind of think of like a centipede that's got a gazillion little legs, what if all the legs were going in different directions? So you can kind of see, I think, the analogy there with technology projects. It's really important to look at that gap analysis, and they'll show you consensus among groups, and it'll also show you, what technology and processes are missing, and what could be better at.
That's great. And in addition to these tools, you also maintain the companies really need to hire a champion, someone in the organization to be an advocate for customers, possibly a chief customer officer. Are you seeing more of these positions pop up at companies? And of the current chief customer officers, are you seeing them linking the service operations to marketing and finance?
Well, what's interesting is that we do see more of those titles. So that's definitely becoming awareness. I think one of the issues, though, is do they have positional power? Do they really have power to hire, to fire, to transform, budget? Are they really reporting to the CEO or CIO, COO? And I think that's the difficulty, is, who exactly is responsible for the results, and are they really being given enough bandwidth to be able to make a difference? So I think we're definitely headed in the right direction, but I think it's also, difficult. I mean, Cigna has a customer experience officer and the semantics, but I'm still not sure that the internal operations and alignment in companies are really understanding the strategic nature of that position. I mean, if you think about your assets, especially at this point in time, one of the things that needs to go on your P&L sheet is your customers and their value. And I think that's missing. And if that was really front and center, then we'd be really driving the business with customer experience officers sitting in the driver's seat.
Do you see that changing at all, given the current economic climate?
I do. I think that everybody's a little bit shell-shocked, and every day you hear a new announcement, and you're like, oh no, how could this be happening? And I think it's a time of a lot of self-reflection, a lot of looking at how we've been doing business. It doesn't make sense. And I'm an internal optimist, so I'm really hoping that it's a point in time where companies, leadership, even individuals really start to look at their purpose in life and what they're really up to, and really redirecting their companies to be customer-centric. I mean, I know you've been writing about this for probably feels like a century, but I really see the opportunity for companies that do that when we rebound will clearly be the leaders.
I agree, and I hope you're right, Natalie. Well, that's all the questions I have, and thank you. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
To learn more about relationship strategy, visit www.one-to-one-media.com.